And once again, as always, Don, am I right? Am I wrong? Do we
You're right.
deliver?
We
deliver. We've got with us tonight, live in the studio, 4 times world's heavyweight champion Nick Bockwinkel. For 15 straight years, this man held the singles or the tag titles for 15 straight years.
That is correct.
A record not often accomplished in that business. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I watched the tape you sent to me, and I realized they have a problem filling a lot of airtime, don't they?
There is a problem.
And so we're being very good. We're contributing to helping fill that airtime.
Absolutely, absolutely. There is an opening there. Well, as always, when we have a top name guest, as we do tonight, we've got lots and lots of questions, and I know every Prima-Donns fan out there wants to hear from Nick Bockwinkel, the world's heavyweight champion. So let's get started right off the bat. And if you could give us an idea, champ, of how you got your start, who trained you, where did you break in?
I'm second generation, like Curt Hennig, Greg Gagne, except that my father never wrestled in this part of the country that much, so that, except for the hardcore fans who would know that and the history of it all, but most of the people would not. So what happens is mine is pretty much a natural matriculation, much as Curt Hennig, I know, wrestled in high school and then turned into professional wrestling and followed in his father's footsteps, and likewise with myself. And so it was just a natural thing that took place. I had a football scholarship and at the University of Oklahoma, and a wrestling scholarship, and never got to wrestle because at the end of the first football season I had busted a knee and had to have it operated on, and that happened again later on in the next year. And so 2 years you get busted up the legs, 2 years in a row, somehow or another the scholarship seems to disappear. So I really never got to really prove anything football-wise, even though I had aspirations, and I never really got to prove anything college wrestling-wise. So my dad says, hey, no scholarship. He says, come home, which was Southern California. He says, start wrestling, we'll train you, and you'll make some money. And sure enough, I was making some money going to UCLA, and life was good. No complaints.
Now, how about in your before high school? Did you grow up around wrestling and in the locker room, etc., that type of thing?
Absolutely.
Maybe we could even get a shot of Nick's father here, Warren Bockwinkel. Or no, that is you, Nick.
That's
right?
me.
That is you.
That's me.
Here's the father and son shot. Let me hold that still for you. Can we get a close-up on that? Can we go tight on that? Yeah. There it is. Father and son.
Yeah. I was at a real trim 215. No body fat whatsoever, And my dad and I, we tag teamed, I'd say for the first couple of years of my career, and then he retired. Okay. So, and that was fun. Especially, if I did something wrong in the ring or made a mistake or something, he'd say, "Come here, stupid," tag me and say, "Get out." You know what I mean? One thing he did is he kept me humble. And that's the nature of the wrestling business. Just about the time you think you're really good, somebody just kind of rubs your nose in the mat, and you go, okay, something I don't know.
So now, in those younger years, did you think at some point you might want to get into professional wrestling, even before when you were?
Surprisingly, my father never pushed me. It was never anything that he insisted on. He wanted me to get an education for one, and when I had the opportunity to go to college via the scholarship, and then later on. And it's funny because I came into the wrestling profession to continue to earn a living so that I could continue to go to school. And so, there are so many of them out there today, and I've heard in my career, they say, I can't wait, I'm going to be on TV, I'm going to be a star, and people will know me. And TV came into my father's era in the late 40s and the early 50s, and it was just another instrument to help promotion. And so that most of the wrestlers who were in the business and the profession at that time, they were in it because they loved the sport, they loved the business. And my transition into it was pretty much the same thing. I mean, it was just something that was there. Whereas there's so many of them today that are caught up by that little red light. That little red light just you can just see they get, into a slight daze. And if not when they're on camera, when they go home and they sit in front of the TV and watch themselves.
That tape in and
yeah, they just
got the remote control.
Oh yeah,
just see me do this.
They just keep backing it up all the time, So. But so it was just a natural progression. for me to go into the profession, and that's what I did. And then when I kind of finished with 5 years of college, I realized, gee, I think I'd rather. I majored in marketing, and I just thought, I'm driving a new convertible and I'm going to school, but I think I'd rather do this. And it was fun, the travel, the whole thing, and so I just continued, and it then became my career.